Well, hey friends, how about a little collective reading on this fine November day here? We are looking forward to our various turkey celebrations tomorrow. Tofurkey turkey. Thanksgiving, Gratitude Day, as the case may be. I love the day, I love the gathering without having to give presents, and I love to be with family and friends, and I will not be with family and friends. I just came back from a wonderful trip, saw all my beloveds, and I'm gonna just enjoy a day with the land here. So let's see what's going on for the collective. Just a little check-in. May have nothing to do with Thanksgiving, or it may be all about how to get along with your family. We'll see, okay? So overall, wow, a beautiful Ace of Water. This is a new beginning, an emotional beginning, a new love, divine love. It's just like this feeling of being loved. And we can see this gift symbolized by the dove, the fairy here, and the rainbow and rain. So I see like end of drought, earthwise. We're supposed to be getting some snow here where I am, but you should be feeling really held, really loved. You'll have access to your own love. I also see we're going to talk about what's happening in the astrology here, maybe. I have a card for that. So we can see this Piscean energy. We have Saturn in Pisces for a long spell. This is like wrapping up a long period where the taskmaster is in the spiritual, watery, cleansing place. Saturn is the planet that gives us structure. I just really see us being held and loved and given a gift here of grace. And it's really beautiful. And there's a lot to be thankful for when you get an Ace of Cups. That's actually the first card I ever got from the tarot when I clued into the tarot in the beginning. And then we have one card underlying this. There's a lot of tensions going on. We are in Sagittarius season. It's a mutable sign. There's a feeling of both and when you get into the mutable signs. We can see both of these fairies receiving a bird. We can see very different kinds of gifts from the sky. We can see this is a more complicated gift. And the Knight of Air or the Knight of Swords can be intellectual, can be angry, right? So I feel tension here. And it was the same. I did a reading for Sagittarius for the birthday season, and I felt that. We're also, that Saturn position is square to the sun, which I don't want to teach you astrology. You should watch astrologers instead of me for that. But basically, it's when around the zodiac, it's a square, makes 90 degrees. And so we can feel tension and conflict. And so the sun being in Sag is why we talk about Sagittarius season. And it'll be in Sag for a month. And Saturn over there in Pisces just grinding along until 2026, getting cleansed and purified. So I feel this tension. I feel a beautiful gift can be perceived as complicated. There's some suspicion here. I really see the shadow on her eyes. And all the fairies, do they all have horns? They often have horns. There's nothing sinister about that. But this beautiful bird that she receives is it's complicated for her. There's some history here. When we get an Ace of Water, it's a new beginning. Right, so you may be in some way like getting a gift and you're looking at it and you're not really being ready to receive it. But we'll clarify here. So I'm going to give the collective here. So like it's not personal, right? this is our reading as a big giant collective. There's like 306 people that subscribe to this channel today. You're the collective. Some people will happen upon this video. You're in the collective. Very few people will watch this video. It's actually a small little community of us. And so we're getting a gift. It's a little complicated feeling to receive it. We have anger. So what's going on? We're going to ask some advice. And I'll just come along and I'll show you this baseline reading. And then we'll clarify with another deck. All right. So what should we release? 6 of Pentacles. The water buffalo and the little bird. It's always on the water buffalo's head. The 6 of Pentacles is about generosity, charitable giving, right? The water buffalo provides a head that the bird perches on. The bird eats the bugs. And there's, in this particular version, the artist is thinking about how when the little bird pecks the head of the water buffalo, there's a wound, right? So there's a kind of, this is why you might be feeling ambivalent about the gift, right? Because these relationships have been fraught. They've been hierarchical in the past. When I first started reading cards, the 6 of Pentacles came up all the time. It taught me a lot. It showed me that I fundamentally disagree with hierarchy, which is like, duh, I'm a feminist, right? But hierarchy is the problem. And the idea that we should give charitably and that we could see ourselves as charitable givers and generous, what the problem with that is it requires people that need charity. And that this is a harmful relationship. I'm also reminded of a really beautiful photograph, and I don't know the artist, although, I can't use my phone to find it because I'm filming on my phone. But it's a really beautiful image of a water buffalo drinking, and the little bird is drinking from the water buffalo's nose. And in that image, the buffalo almost seems like a statue. It feels very like a monster, like an ancient being. And then this bird, it's a really beautiful image if you may have seen it out there. Maybe I'll create the image for the slide that goes as on the cover of this from that image. I don't know if I have a right to that, but look for that. It's beautiful. And so we'll be thinking about that as we go forward in this reading and clarify. But it's a time to release this idea of generosity, and if we think about Thanksgiving, actually, like, because we're seeing this, these are gifts, right? One is looking at it in a little complicated way, and one, it's like, wow, this is just the most beautiful gift ever, right? And so then we have this idea of charity here, of hierarchy, that we need to release that from our giving. Now, I'm a giver, okay? I feel way more comfortable giving than receiving. This means that I don't let people help me. So that could be what this is about. Like, and that was what the 6 of Pentacles taught me, was I need to receive. I need to be on the receiving end of gifts and not be concerned that I'm going to owe. and this sort of trap of reciprocity, if somebody gives something to me, then I have to give it back, is actually kind of a beautiful connection that we can have. So we'll study that. I'm having a lot come through from it. I guess I think about the expression on this water buffalo's face. It doesn't look comfortable, and the bird doesn't seem to be conscious of the price of this gift too. For those of you that are like me, who have trouble receiving, you may be always thinking about how much it costs other people that you're trouble. If you take too much, you might want to be aware of, and it's Thanksgiving, right? Gratitude, be grateful. There's a lot that we should think about in terms of colonialism, right? The American story of Thanksgiving is a myth about Europeans Christians coming to the Americas, and this land is settled. This land is populated by people and traditions, and there is a taking. And so some people talk about it as take giving. I don't know, something like that. So think about that as a collective, right? So how do we make reparations for that? And one thing I'll add, and again, just a lot comes up here when it comes to that sort of collective process. Anytime I make amends for harms I have done in my personal life, I feel free. And so there's freedom in reparations. A lot of work goes into pretending we deserve this and justifying that. That's some of this head crap here, that the Knight of Air can be angry and be pissed off. Don't tell me, about colonialism. So if you have some of that going on. So this is all release stuff. So what should we embrace? A Seven of Wands. There is a card of resistance. You can see this crocodile here with the wand. It represents your willpower. And all these other ones wanting something from this crocodile, and they're holding their ground here against this. And that's what the Seven of Wands is about. This interesting, there's always this stag in the background here, this is a deck I use a lot. So we see the stag, almost like a ghost or an idea relative to crocodiles. What does that stag represent? It could be your dinner, and you don't want to share it. Seven of Wands is a good card about resistance, but it can also mean that you are perhaps too resistant. Here we want to say, embrace this. What should you embrace? We will clarify. So there's a little bit in the Six of Pentacles of being taken advantage of, and then there, in the Seven of Wands, there's resisting those who would take from you. Oh yeah, and I can see, I forgot, when you look at these guys, they all have a spine that is the wand. So there's 7 wands and a 7 of wands. So it's about having a backbone too. So have integrity. All right, so I've kind of mentioned this relationship between the Sun in Sagittarius right now and Saturn, the taskmaster planet, grinding through Pisces, getting pure cleansed. It's very spiritual. The kind of earthy hard work of Sagittarius can be muted in all that water of Pisces. So we have a tension here. So let's ask about that. What's the message from that? The Three of Cups. I love it. Friendship. It's a card of reconciliation too. This particular Three of Cups, we can see these raccoons have broken into somebody's house, is what I always imagine. They're drinking from these cups. The cups are full of water, which represents your emotions. And I always see a little anxiety here. I don't know. Do you see anxiety? Do I see it? I guess it's just like a little frowny place here. These two are just having fun. Or this one is. Drinking together. A little left outness here. What does that have to do with this friendship? Well, so if we're thinking about having integrity and instead of hierarchy, so having good boundaries, the Seven of Wands suggests that. And then this sort of friend space, there's also something about reconciliation, and there's this tension, right, that we're feeling, that we need to reconcile these two seemingly opposite things. Charity, resistance to charity, hierarchy, resistance to hierarchy, or having integrity when other people say, you should do this, you should do this. That's what that Seven of Wands is about. And then the Three of Cups is a really lighthearted card here. It's that Pisces energy. And I think the way that it's like what astrologers are saying, and listen to your own astrologers, but what the ones I listened to said, we had all this energy yesterday, and now we might feel like everything's too hard and we've got too much going on, too many balls in the air. There's a dilution of your ability to be disciplined, and everything gets complicated. And I think there's some of that coming up here. So it's like a lack of clarity in the midst of this tension. I said, sorry. I'm trying to cut that. I took a break from reading tarot, and so some of my habits are a bit rusty. Okay, so this card that I'm going to pull now, it's a very good card. This is what the tarot wants you to know that is hidden from you. This also came up for Sagittarius, which is there is a new beginning, an Ace of Pentacles. Really gorgeous reiteration of the Ace of Cups. And so we have the Ace of Cups in your emotions, and in your real world, another ace. It can be something like new job, new home. In a larger collective sense, it would appear that there is something coming in. It's coming in on wings. This makes me think back to this little bird here, the other winged person in this reading. Okay, what's the future? The future, more wings, an Eight of Wands, communication, action, really powerful image here with this. Always makes me actually think of judgment, ascension, the kind of shedding of your skin, and it's a very new snake skin kind of coming out of this action, out of this communication. So a sense of transformation here and of action becomes possible. Communication becomes possible, and it's coming in through some resistance and some history that makes it hard, so we feel anxious about drinking of this Ace of Cups because historically there has been hierarchy, and we're told to resist something, and I'm not really clear about what that is yet. But yeah, so there's anxiety that comes from a history of exploitation and hierarchy and conflict, and we're actually not told to quit conflict. We're told to up the resistance here. I can think about the political realm in the United States here with the last reading I did was about the election. So there's a new beginning coming in. We're being told to receive something like this with faith, full of faith, but we're receiving it like this, like with skepticism. We're a bit bruised, black eyes here. It doesn't seem just simple and clear cut to us. Yeah. I'm going to look at the bottom here and then we'll clarify. Interesting. Temperance, the Devil, the Queen of Cups, the Tower, Page of Wands, Sun. There's like so much on the bottom here. It's like nothing is upside down. I did recently set all my decks back. Okay, well, let's just take a few cards here because I don't want to take them all and you don't want to hear about them all. Temperance, the Devil, the Queen of Cups, and the Tower. I'll leave the Page of Wands there, although we may talk about him. So we see action in the future, right? This is action and communication in the future. Something's going to happen. It's positive. It's very transformative. There is more sense of waiting and transformation, transmutation, right? 1 foot on land, 1 foot, which is land, is the Ace of Pentacles, 1 foot in the water, which is your Ace of Cups. Finding the right alchemized balance between earth and water, the practical, earthy, and the watery, emotional realms. Then there's the Devil. I just really feel this. This came out for Sagittarius. This is, this can be really about your embodiment, your desire, and your pleasure. But it's also about addiction, codependence, confusing and disempowering thoughts. And it's coming in like that in these readings. And it feels like an outside force. We can see that you need to practice temperance in relation to that. You're being told to dive into your feelings with the Queen of Cups and to talk from your feelings. She's a communicator. That's the way to deal with this devil energy, is to trust your, it's like this. Something here like that. It's like the water's all full of crocodiles, kind of, and you're a crocodile too, though. And then there's a tower, which is something that is built on a shaky foundation will come down. There's a new emotional beginning. You're receiving it with skepticism. There's good reason to, because there is some kind of force here that you need to resist. You're being encouraged to resist this devil energy. You can feel it when you access your emotions. So trust your intuition. When you drink from the cup, that's your feelings. So trust your intuition. There's something that doesn't feel right. Trust that feeling. The truth is going to come in. The Knight of Air is really also about the truth. And there's anger and quickness. So we see this owl coming in and this hawk coming in the end of your reading. Right? So that's what's hidden from you that the tarot wants you to know is a new beginning, which is good when we see a tower, which means something's going to come down. There's going to be a new beginning. There's going to be a gift coming in. And then we see action and communication. Again, a winged force. It's very transformative. What I'm seeing is you don't know yet what's going to happen. The way to go through this is to trust your intuition. There is a devil here. There is something wrong. It's in the Six of Pentacles, this hierarchy. It's like, if this is just your personal story, like you're looking around for what is wounding you, what is pecking at your head. There's something that feels like it needs you or tells you like this is your purpose, is to be the head upon which this bird sits. That's this devil energy. There's some kind of disempowering thoughts that you are, an obsession is what it is. It's like peck, 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 peck. That's what it feels like. And you want to release that. The way to release that is to stay grounded. Trust. There's something coming in. You don't know what it is. You want to be in your feelings, your intuition. Listen to that. There's something, we're ill at ease right now. Something is coming down and something is beginning anew. We're jaded. Next cards that come in are, kind of reiterate this bothness that we're in. There's like new ideas, authenticity and happiness, but then there's disempowering thoughts, self-harm. It's like this, and that's what temperance is about. So we see this frog here. It's like we're often see in temperance this angel pouring water, emotions between two cups, right? And because astrologically this is our message, what appears to be friendship and fun, there is some anxiety in it. There's some need to have integrity. This really reiterates again what I just saw in the Sagittarius birthday reading. They got this as their embrace, or no, as an underlying energy as well. Interesting. Okay, let's clarify because if you're still here, you might be interested, and yet, what? I need more information. Plus, I'm nosy. Okay, so we're embracing the Seven of Wands after we release the Six of Pentacles, which I talked on and on about. Okay, what else? King of Cups. All right, Justice. This is really quite different from the Six of Pentacles. This is hierarchy, this is equality. So this is a balancing energy. That's great. Justice. What else? The Devil. There's your Devil again. Two devils dying. Let's release that. Okay, and the Queen of Swords. She knows how to cut out what doesn't work for her. She will help you with the Devil. Swords are your mind. And the Queen of Swords is quite good at knowing what needs to go. So, yeah. There is a way to justice against this devil as a person. Just a person that's appearing here, and we're trying to deal with this. I'm in the larger collective, we're in the middle of this really early days of an election. A lot of people aren't paying attention. I'm paying too much attention. And I'm really interested in the justice system working. Like, there's so much happening on the national level where I just get to see how this American system works. It's absolutely fascinating to literally read what judges are writing, what prosecutors are writing, and the ways that people are using the tools of this system to address a real threat here. The threat is represented by the Six of Pentacles. It is hierarchy. And so we can trust justice to confront the devil, and that the Queen of Swords will ultimately have the clarity, right? The Knight of Air has that. The Knight of Air is the Knight of Swords, has the truth, and to act like the Queen of Swords, which is remove what does not serve us, okay? So this says embrace in this process resistance, okay? Embrace resistance. Have integrity here. Hold on to your willpower against all the other willpowers out there trying to push you around. What else? This is a Three of, looks like Wands. Three of Wands. This is about waiting for something that you manifested. That star here represents wish fulfillment, and the tarot is a star. So you've wished for something, and you're waiting for it. What did you wish for? There's your Knight of Swords again, right? The same card. There's your Knight of Swords again, this beautiful horse. Bringing in the truth real fast. You're waiting, and what comes in? The truth. And that's where, this is your future, the Eight of Wands. Action, communication. This is great. I'm caused to think of this essay by Václav Havel, The Power of the Powerless. So when you live in the truth, like this crocodile is holding with integrity Even though there's a lot of other people trying to tell them how to behave, who to be, what to think, this crocodile is like, nope, I'm listening to myself. I have integrity. So that's what this is saying. You're waiting. What are you waiting for? Like, I remember I just said I'm watching all the news. I'm aware of what's going on. Like, just trust if you're waiting for people to have access to the truth, that's happening. They're going to have action. They're going to have access to the truth and they will act accordingly. This power of the powerless. So Havel says, in a society where there's a huge pressure to go along, it's very powerful to stand in integrity, to live in your truth, to be authentic, and it gives other people permission to do the same. So you just say, like, one of my things is like, I boycott Amazon. I love boycotting things. It makes me feel better to ethically if I remove myself from something that I think does a lot of harm in the world, right? So I just tell people I boycott Amazon. I don't say I'm going to judge you and I can't be your friend if you buy things from Amazon. But if one of my progressive friends says, I got it on Amazon, I will always be the pill who says, well, please don't give Amazon free advertising. They do a lot of harm to their workers, to the planet, blah, 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 blah. Wealth disparity. That's not my point here. But my point is, whatever your thing is, your boycott, your political perspective, your truth, and you're feeling powerless. So Three of Wands is kind of a powerless place. You've asked for what you want, and now you have to wait. Trust. They're going to see the truth, and they will act that accordingly. Right? The Queen of Swords acts with the truth. Right? So let go of telling people, talking down to people. Wait, watch. People are going to get it in their time. You just stand in your integrity. In whatever area of your life, I've given some scenarios, very political ones. Why not? So here we have an Eight of Wands. Act with integrity. Trust other people will get the truth and they will act accordingly. They are also like the Knight of Swords. They've really been through some shit. And once they see the truth, they're going to be pissed, right? And I guess I feel something very transformative about that action. Okay, so you're anxious, you're in your feels, you're being advised to feel that Piscean spiritual energy. It makes it really hard to be disciplined. It's a different kind of discipline when Saturn is in Pisces. It can be dreamy when you want to be rigid and routinized. So let's find out more about this. What does this add to our collective understanding of this tension? The world. An ending, first an ending, and then a beginning. Yeah. So that could simply be what I said before, which is when Saturn is in Pisces until 2026, it will go into Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. So it's finishing a major cycle. So that could be the ending here. And that's some time off. But something is ending. All right. And beginning. Something begins when something ends. Secondly, the Hanged Man. There's a need to wait till 2026, perhaps. You wait until you see things from a new perspective, from the other perspective. The Hanged Man. And Temperance is also telling you to wait. The Star. There's your wish fulfillment. Beautiful. Healing. Card of healing. Wow, this is major. Yeah, this is a big astrological cycle. It's taken all these years. If you Google when was Saturn last in Aries, you can see how many years this has been happening. It's like about 30 years. So for 30 years, And this 30-year cycle is coming to an end with Saturn in Pisces. We have to wait, Hangman. 2026 it leaves. But we will see this Aquarian energies, right? We're supposed to be in the age of Aquarius. We will see the star as a card of Aquarius, why I say that. We will see wish fulfillment. We will see healing. In the meantime, it's really clear you kind of have to go through this. You have to drink. You're being given access to this divine support. Can you see there's a big hand holding her? This dove is coming in. That's the gift. But there's also this big, giant hand. It feels like the planet. It's like large scale. The star, you can see the bird here is standing in the water. That's your feelings again. Where was the other star that I said? Oh, so we have the Three of Wands, right? Waiting for the star, right? There it is, coming in. We just have to wait for it on divine time. Interesting. Okay. I just looked under there. There's some pain, 3 of Swords, some feeling of betrayal in this mix too. Not an easy process. Saturn is not easy. So, the tarot is so nice. It says, what you don't know is that there's a new beginning. It's real. It's in your real world. It could be the earth. It's a renewal of the earth. Or on some real material, real world level, there's a new beginning. You see an ending, the world. And now we see that. Okay. A 6 of Cups, beautiful. Inner child, soulmate connection, inner child work, nostalgia sometimes. But thinking of looking at these cups, the sunflowers associated with wands typically, but these, the 6 of Cups is also about undefended love. Again, as in the 3 of Cups, I see 2 birds and this one alone. You might be feeling a little bit of being alone, waiting for your counterpart, and other people are coupled up. Did I see that? Remember I mentioned that power of the powerless idea that you have integrity? That's your embrace, the 7 of Wands. Like you alone, right? Everybody else is doing something and you feel alone with this. And you're waiting for people to catch up with you, perhaps. So the Hangman wait, the Temperance wait. So I feel that here. There's a feeling of your solitude, of a loneliness, that we're isolated from each other in some way. And the temptation might be to go along, to get along. So we want connection and we're not feeling it. We want to access this divine connection, this feel that you are held, feel that you are not alone. And I live alone. I'm a fairly solitary person currently in my life, and I go out in the woods and hug trees. And so I am not alone, and I have divine support, and I access that in every way that I can. So I encourage you to shift, like the Hangman tells us to shift our perspective. So if you're feeling lonely, try to access your connections with the planet more large, right? The Ace of Pentacles speaks of planet Earth. Pentacles are the element of Earth. So if you're alone amongst your species, reach more broadly for the planet. It is there for you. That's coming in to me in many ways, but there's a lot of this accessing your feelings. So dig the Queen of Cups, diving into the waters here. It's okay to feel lonely here. It's not wrong to feel lonely, but then seek further, because you need to have integrity right now. There's going to be a temptation because you want connection. There's that 3 of Swords. Pain, betrayal. There's something about 3s in this reading. So like the 3 of Cups, and then I saw that in the 6 of Cups and the Three of Swords. And the threes will sometimes be, these two pick each other at my expense. That feeling. But it's really painful. Your swords in a Three of Swords, or your mind, you can see they're hurting your heart, right? There's the devil is also, but no coincidence that the devil has the heart here, right? So that this feeling can feel like obsession, like your mind is like not able to let go of whatever it is, and what the effect is that it stabs your heart. This is the devil feeling, obsession, some kind of addictive cycle that you can't get out of. It feels to me like you feel isolated, and you have something that really matters, that there's integrity. Oh yeah, there's also a Three of Wands, so we've got all these threes. You feel like alone when others are together. Do you ever feel that way? Are you feeling that way? The answer is not to betray yourself and go along. The answer is stay in your truth. Other people will be inspired by that. You are not alone. You are divinely supported. Thirdly, here's your Three of Cups again. You can kind of see that more friends drinking from the cups together feeling. Everybody's kind of alone together in this Three of Cups. That's nice. It's a reconciliation feeling. A lot of emotions here. Okay, so the future is action, communication, really powerful. On the wings of this hawk. Transformative. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Just a small start, real practical. You can see that little page is sitting on that wand too, looking at that new beginning. I like that page. The Sun. This was under the bottom of the other deck here. The Sun, a more wish fulfillment, authenticity. Happiest card in the tarot. That is the Pentacle. That's coming in. Four of Cups. Some hesitation to receive this gift. That's what I felt. I felt the whole way through. There's an Ace of Cups being offered you. You might be inclined to look at, historically, this hasn't come through for me. All right, collective. This is... There's something really beautiful for you if you choose to receive it. There's peace here. The peace comes from having integrity and not feeling like you need other people. There's a kind of codependence to that. Like, I need other people to fulfill me. That's not the answer. Once I have a sponsor, a mentor, and I came to her and I said, I need someone to hold me. I'm lonely. This is hard. And it was right at the beginning of COVID. And she said, where's your higher power in this? And that's when I started going out in the woods and connecting with other beings, hugging trees. There's this one tree I always walk by. It's just not that big. It's like that big around. And I just remember a day around that time and just grabbing hold of this tree and just weeping into its arms, and it worked. It was there for me. So that's the kind of gift that you're being offered here. And this is not an easy period that we're in. This is actually quite difficult. It's you feel alone. We all feel alone, and we're trying to be true to ourselves in a new way. We've been revising as a collective what it means to have wish fulfillment. There's something very too overly materialistic and exploitive about our sense of wish fulfillment and of absolute happiness, and we've been revising that. That's my take on this Saturn in Pisces process and many other things happening in our collectives, that we need to change our minds about what we find fulfilling. And I think we're all coming up with different ideas, seemingly, and we can feel isolated. But the fact is, we're going to come back together after everybody gets rid of this devil obsession, which feels like intention with the sun, with this more. So for me, when I started hugging trees, I could no longer just take from my planet. I needed to find a way to give back. I needed to find a reciprocal relationship. That's what Six of Pentacles feeling, actually, is that the one place that I take so easily from is in the Pentacles realm, is in Earth. I take from Earth. I take, for Pete's sake, I'm an American. We're very, we have a big footprint, that kind of feeling. And right, so to learn how to be reciprocal with my planet has been really big for me. And so I see here in this embrace of like, to hold on to that, I earned that truth, that clarity, that justice, and the Two of Cups, justice and the Six of Cups here. These are, even the Three of Cups, it's about reconciliation, so restoration, a lot of kind of restoring, and what's the other word for reparation, right? So I feel like there's this feeling of a need for reparation. There's a need to like, look at this. Here's your planet, this big, beautiful hand holding you, giving you gift after gift after gift. And what we're wanting to do here is learn, or maybe you already have learned, and you need to have integrity in this right now, and it might be hard for some reason. Like, I don't know, why might it be hard? Like I might be like, oh, I'm having a rough time, it's scary. I'm gonna lean into my extractive taking without returning. So one practice I'm in now is like, when I feed my body, I'm thinking a lot about when my body returns to the earth. Will it be clean? Will I be healthy for my planet? Will my body decompose and feed the mycelial network? Or will I be full of poison, right? I can think about that in all the places that I enter. Am I going to bring poison, or am I going to bring health and truth and love and laughter and honesty and integrity? Seven of Wands, embrace integrity. So this is hard. It takes discipline. The devil will always be like, oh, come you had a hard day. Have a drink. Have some junk. I just came off a vacation. I had all the junk I wanted. I just said yes to everything. So I feel like now it's time to be done with that and to return to balance and integrity in my practices. So if that resonates with you, to have integrity in your practices, to carry that forward, although you might be tempted not to not kind of backslide because everybody else is, but trust that you staying in your truth means that they will be like, okay, I also have problems with Amazon's practices. I think I'll also quit buying things there. And there's lots of other places to buy from, or maybe I won't buy something if I can only get it there. I don't have to watch that streaming service. I can watch all these other ones, right? And I just feel better when I live that way. Not like I need to force other people to do it, but I like how I feel. And that's what this is telling you. Temperance says, you're going to have to hold steady here until other people come join you. But they will see you living in integrity, and it will transform them. And I really feel like this tower is very positive in that sense, that it's an inevitable change. And sometimes it's shocking, right? I feel like you're going to be surprised by this change. And that you don't have to feel, people never come along with me. People always have check out and, forget them. Just do you and live in integrity. That's what this message is about. I feel like other people are going to join you. And I see your isolation. So, underlying energies. We have 2 cards, and they basically prove my point. We have the Empress, the Earth herself, beautiful abundance of our planet. And then we see the Knight of Wands passionately riding forth with whatever has inspired you. It's a fast energy, just like the Knight of Air. It's a passion. There's a lot of wands, a lot of fire. We're in Sagittarius. Sagittarian energy is fire. So that Knight of Wands is that Sagittarian energy. So this may be that brief of a cycle. Or it could be long, like we're talking about several years, 2026, until Saturn finishes in Pisces. But trust your broader relationship with the Empress, with Earth. And that you're not alone, right? I see that here. Sagittarius is a centaur, and this deck, the person you are represented by the crow. So we have a centaur image here. It's like being a hybrid of 2 species. So be open to connection across species instead of just looking for your fellow humans. That will help you if you feel lonely. So that's your message over and over and over again, right? You have integrity. Keep being you. Live in your truth. This will bring others along, or they will find their own truth, and they will also begin to live in integrity. Collectively, we're all encouraged to have integrity. We also need to have patience. And we need to go through this by being in touch with our feelings. It's very spiritual when Saturn is in Pisces. So this is a spiritual process, and it's slow. And then all this action will happen, and all this togetherness will happen, and happiness will return. And the only thing that you have to do is receive that gift when it comes, right? Say yes to the Ace of Wands. All right, my friends. I hope this helps. If you're anxious about the current political system, something's going to end. Last time I got, the tower? In the future, if you go back and look at that America 2024 reading I did, there is something ending. The world's here, the tower's here again. The 3 of Swords, there's betrayal. The devil is here twice. Like, this is not small potatoes kind of energy in terms of the American political system. There's something really dangerous and terrible, and it's kind of scary if you look around and other people are like, well, I might vote for him again. Like, that's like, what? I think this reading says to those of you that are experiencing that, don't despair. The ending is coming, and I don't know what it is. But there's wish fulfillment, the star and the sun, and that's nice to see, because last time I didn't see any hope. I just was like, ooh, that's scary. So, yeah. I'm at the point where the cards are like blah, 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 jumbly, and I can't get any more insight for you. I feel it's a very clear, simple, difficult message, but definitely better than last time. All right. Have a great day of gratitude. Enjoy your family, your food. To connect to the message, if you're with people, you may still feel alone. That's really common to feel alone with others. And I'm going to be alone with myself and my dog and my cat in the woods, seeking identification across differences, different species. But it's okay to be you and to be true to yourself, even if you don't fit in. And I guess I am going to go to my workout at the Box Studio here in Flagstaff, Arizona. We're going to be doing a strength workout. And I always feel like an oddball everywhere, and I feel like an oddball there. But just enjoy other people and let them be themselves. And when you have integrity and are yourself and stand with yourself, then it makes it easier to let other people be them and need less from them. Like, I really feel like that. Need less from other people right now. And then you'll feel free. And turn to other connections besides humans. And these connections with our planet, with other beings, people, other persons, to use Kimmerer's idea. Kimmerer, who wrote Braiding Sweetgrass, she writes in another essay about coming together with all the other people, all the other species, trees, fish, birds, four-legged creatures. Connect, relate, and then you won't feel so alone at your Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.